You know, there's an element of, I'm not going to take any credit for still being here, but there's an element of personal endeavour that gets you through these things. But the only reason I am here is because of the skill of the people at the Walton Centre, and that's the only reason I'm here. Because if they didn't do what they did, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you now and telling this story and looking forward to the rest of my life. Her words to me were, do you realise how big a bullet you've dodged? And I knew that I'd been lucky, and I knew that something, you know, that big can't happen to you, and you don't come out of it with any kind of ill effect. She said, 70,000 people a year suffer subarachnoid hemorrhage. 50% of them don't even make it to hospital. They either die at home or in work or on the street or in the ambulance on the way to hospital. Out of the 50% that's left, 5% come out of it with no side effects. No, as in nothing serious. So it's about 1,500 people, and I'm one of them. 5th of June 2016, went up to the Raven in Whitchurch with Shelley on my bike. Started to take my gear off, put my bike away in the garage, started to take my helmet and my leathers and things off, and as I bent down to take my boots off, I felt like I'd been hit in the top of the head with an axe or a baseball bat or something like that, and it was agony. 2 weeks passed by, and I did feel a little bit better. I went back to work on the Thursday, and it was the Brexit election. It was that Thursday night. The Friday morning, got into work, got out of the car, went to walk into the showroom where I worked. I don't really remember too much about it after that. The Walton Centre were amazing. I got there on the Friday night, and the surgeon came up to say basically, yeah, I'd had a bleed. It was the second one. I later found out the one I had, the 5th of June headache, was the first bleed that I'd had. I was on my own in a hospital because the time between them telling me and them taking me down, there'd been no time for Shelley or my brother or anybody else to come over. So when I went down for the operation, I was kind of on my own, and I remember I was very, very emotional. I was crying. I didn't know what to do. One of the nurses there, who I think was one of the theatre nurses, was amazing. She stood and held me hand and told me everything's it's going to be all right. And what you want to hear, isn't it? And you don't want to all these faces around you with masks on, and you're unsure of what's happening. The best medical attention I could have ever possibly received from that hospital started from the day I got there. The high dependency unit was no different. The nurse that looked after me there was amazing. Nothing was too much trouble. 4 days after my op, I think it was, I had the MRI, and the surgeon came up to tell me the operation had been successful, and it was, you know, the aneurysm had been plugged. There was no further leakage from the blood, but obviously they had to monitor it and maintain it. And there was a time when I was genuinely worried that I was never going to be able to do the things that I did again.
My husband, as a lot of people will know, was Gary. He sadly had bowel cancer, and it spread to his brain. And they did what they could for him. He was on life support, and unfortunately after 24 hours they said there's just no chance, so we had to make the heartbreaking decision to switch the life support off. Well, 2.5 years later, I was back there again with Alan. Just the most fantastic people. And I can't think of anybody that is more deserving in a hospital than them to actually get this money.
It takes the people in that hospital and their knowledge and skill to be able to explain to a layman really what's wrong with you, what they've done to fix it, and it is going to get better, and it's not, you know, they've stopped what's happening, and it's then down to the individual, whether it be me or Joe Bloggs or the person in the bed next to me. It's how they combat it and what they do to overcome it. Now I know I'm massively lucky. There's people who've had exactly the same thing that I've had, and they're in a lot worse condition than I am.
Alan's been through a terrible, terrible 12 months, but he's fought all the way through. I'm so proud of him. Life goes on, and nobody ever thinks that they're going to need a place like that. But when they do, when that place is that wonderful, and then people walk away and live normal lives, and it's because of those people and their professionalism and how fantastic they are.
Why am I so special? And it's quite a hard thing to accept. And for a long time after, and even to a point now, when I go to sleep, in the back of my mind is always, am I going to wake up again tomorrow? But then, as your life moves on and things go back to normal, if you like, the thoughts, those thoughts disappear, but the stats stay with you.
We should never take a single moment of our lives for granted, because you just don't know what's around the corner. You need to get out, you need to enjoy yourself, but you need to remember those people that can't. And for that, we need people to raise money for charity. And there's all sorts of charities, but this one, it's special to me.
You know, there's an element of, I'm not going to take any credit for still being here, but there's an element of personal endeavour that gets you through these things. But the only reason I am here is because of the skill of the people at the Walton Centre, and that's the only reason I'm here. Because if they didn't do what they did, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you now and telling this story and looking forward to the rest of my life.
Everyone at the Walton Centre, a big thank you to all the volunteers and everyone attending Castlewood Rocks for all your support. It's going to make a big difference to our patients. Thank you.